welcome to Out and About in Ireland on irishtv.ie. And what a wonderful, wonderful programme we have in store for you over the next hour. I hope you can stay with us. We're coming to you from the beautiful seaside resort of Enniscrone in County Sligo, and we're here for the All-Ireland Shore Angling Final. So over the next hour, some wonderful fishing, great characters to meet, and we'll also try and bring you a little bit of music. As always, all you have to do is sit back and relax as we take you out and about in Ireland. Well, a great crowd here in Enniscrone for the All-Ireland Sea Angling Championships, shore angling on this occasion. Now, I'm delighted to be joined by Pat Walsh, the President of the Irish Federation of Sea Anglers, to talk a little bit about the national scene. And beside him is Trasa Brannock, who is the Chairperson of the Connacht Provincial Council for Sea Anglers. Pat, first off, give us an overview from the national point of view.
Well, the national point of view is this year has been a very successful year. Some of our anglers went abroad and came back with silver, and more of us went to England and we came back with silver. We were second in the nations.
What kind of numbers are we looking at around the country, and where is sea angling strong?
Sea angling is strong, very strong in the west of Ireland, very strong down in Leinster, and it's really strong down in Munster, Cove Harbour, Carrsavine. It's really good down there.
People will always say that an island nation, we should be utilising our seas a lot more.
Well, you have a point there, but the fact of the matter is it's very expensive angling. It's more expensive than golfing, and we do our best to keep the prices down. Boats is the problem with us because they're 400 to 500 a day, and it isn't a lot of money because the diesel, the price it is, and they don't be out the whole summer, you know. So if things were a bit more flexible and diesel cheaper, we'd have more people angling.
What do you enjoy about it yourself, and what are the anglers here today? Why are they here in such strong numbers?
We're very lucky. We have a subcommittee of the Connacht Council, Peter Atkins, Mike Curtin, Brian Reedy, and a couple of more lads. They've really built it up, and they have 120 anglers out today, shore anglers, and that is something. You know, that is something.
Trasa, just coming to the provincial scene, looking out here and the interest and the motivation and that whole determination, looking at the fishermen going out, isn't it great to see that passion they have for it?
But it's in their blood. They can't help it. They really can't. They get up in the morning, they go out digging for bait, they go out morning, noon and night, and they come in, and all they're worrying about is their bait, and then their competition. And the one beautiful thing about the shore angling especially, it has really taken off in Connacht. Connacht were hosting this competition today, and we gave it to Galway Bay SSE, and they could not have done a better job. And I must congratulate both Mike Curtin, chairman of the Galway Bay SSE, Peter Atkins, Brian Reedy, and all the helpers, but they are just fantastic. And the only drawback we have now is the boat competitions, because of the cost of the boats. So we have to try and do something. You see, there was a time when we could use the trawlers and the half-deckers. We can't do that anymore. But to try and bring back shore or boat angling, we have to try and do something about that.
How important is angling to Irish tourism, Trasa?
Well, I was at a meeting in Dublin 2 years ago, and both Fáilte or Fáilte Ireland, whatever they like to call themselves, they told us that angling brings in more revenue than golf into the country. So isn't that important? They're the things that we should think about. But we're not getting the sponsorship, we're not getting the help. I don't know why.
It's not a spectator.
It's not a spectator sport.
Where did your own interest come from?
Well, I grew up in Currall. I was born and bred in Currall, and we went out fishing in a punt when we were only children. My grandfather was the captain of the hookers going up and down to Westport, and you see, it's in our blood.
Well, listen, thank you so much, and well done, because I know you'll be the first to say it's a big, big team effort to keep angling strong and to promote it here in Ireland.
It is getting more difficult by the day.
Can I finish on this note? I'd like to thank you for putting us on the map, as we say, and I hope you keep at it. And there's one other thing, you might have to cut it out, but a great friend of mine is in hospital at the moment, Ray Sheehan. He owns the Houston's Tackle Shop in Westport. I'd like to wish him well.
Pat, Tressa, thank you so much, and we're looking forward to the afternoon here in Enniscrone.
Thank you very much, Piers. Agus go to Mila Mahigot.
Guramaigad Hain, Pat Walsh, the President of the Irish Federation of Sea Anglers, and Tressa Brannock, Chairperson of the Connacht Provincial Council. Now, they did mention that the anglers are here. They're heading down onto the beach here in Enniscrone. We're going to catch up with some of them and look at them as they're preparing for the afternoon of fishing. Lots of anglers to talk to as well throughout the programme this evening.
My name's Joe Muir. I'm from Cork, originally Scotland, but I'm from Cork, and the reason I'm up in Sligo is to fish the O Island. Well, I'm no fishing, but my son Jordan, he's up to fish it, so he's hoping to get it 3 in a row this year.
Tell us a little bit about your own interest in angling. How did that come about?
Mostly just joining the local clubs in Cork, Dunyall, the Bass Club, Great Island, the Hada. I fished with them for maybe 10 years or more, but then the son started getting into it, so I'm more running about trying to take him to competitions now.
What do you like about it yourself?
The challenge and getting things right, and when you know you've done it all right and you catch the fish.
Now, you've competed. Tell us a little bit about what you've won over the last few years.
I won the Morris Dalton 2 years in a row, and I was fishing on the Irish international team last year. I went over to Dover in England and we came second.
What does it take to be a good angler? Is it just luck, or is there a little bit of technique as well, Jordan?
Knowledge of the beach and how to catch certain fish, and bait comes into it a lot, and getting the right rigs, practice, motivation, and just keep going.
I fish a small bit myself, not so much. I don't compete in the competitions anymore. There's too many good anglers out there, so I can never keep up with them.
You must be very proud of Jordan.
Oh, I am, yeah. He's done really well. As I say, he's on the Munster team this year again, fishing for Munster, and he'll be fishing into provisionals in Morris Castle in February, and that'll be against Ulster, Leinster and Connacht, and then they pick the best 5 from that to represent the Irish international team.
The best of luck, Jordan.
Thanks.
Best of luck to Dad as well, and a safe trip home. I know he's driving you yet. You have to thank him now officially on telly.
Thanks, Joe.
It's an absolute huge occasion for us. Connacht Council approached us earlier on the year and asked us to take on this competition. It's the premier competition within our federation, so we're absolutely delighted to host it on behalf of the Connacht Council. We have about 120 anglers turning up to fish this competition from all parts of the country, north, south, Wexford to Belfast, Donegal down to Cork. So yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to be hosting that, and we're looking forward to the day ahead of us.
What can we expect now this afternoon?
Well, we have anglers from the very top of the field, from international anglers that have won medals at World Championships. Even this year, our Irish team won bronze at the World Championships. So we have probably maybe 20 guys out there who can compete at the world top level. And in saying that, we also have anglers who love their fishing, who try and get out every weekend and just enjoy being out in the elements and trying to catch a few fish.
Is it a pastime, or is it a little bit of a full-time profession for some people?
For those who are involved in it at the higher end of the competition scale, it is more or less a professional sport. It's not recognised as a professional sport, but the guys at that level do compete against international teams who are professional. In saying that, the guys, as I said, that love their everyday angling, they just love being out and love trying to catch a few fish, and I think it's a huge compliment that both can actually walk onto a beach and fish side by side and enjoy it. There's actually 3 competitions on here today. We have the All-Ireland Open Shore, which any member of the Federation can actually turn up here today and fish this competition. There is actually no qualifying role that they have to go through to take part in today's competition. We also have the Interprovincials, which is on today, which is the 4 provincial teams, Ulster, Munster, Leinster and Connacht, and it's a 5-man team event. Now those guys that would qualify for those teams would have to qualify through their province to make their provincial team. So there's a lot up there for grabs today too, bragging rights within the provinces, so we're expecting a tight match there in that one. The main species we'll be fishing for today are mainly flounder and turbot. Coalfish may turn up in the dark, but they are going to be our mainstay. We reckon the winner should have anywhere around maybe 15 to 20 fish to win it. The West Coast really is only starting to open up as far as angling and angling competitions is concerned, and we have a huge amount to offer anglers in the West Coast. So for us, it's a case of trying to get more people involved, especially our youths. Our youths are hugely important to us. We have the youth sections, and we really need to facilitate them a little bit better. Parents, mother, dads, come with their sons and daughters. We actually have one woman here fishing with us today. We have 10 or 15 juniors, we have senior men. So it is a case of all of us helping each other out to promote it.
Finally, what do you enjoy about it yourself?
Personally, myself, I'd say it has to be the competitive side of it. That would have to be the part for me. But getting to meet all the guys and building up relationships over the years from, as I said, from Donegal down to Cork, and just all these guys getting together on a day like today and enjoying our bit of fishing and enjoying a bit of fun after.
Now, back here in Enniscrone, I'm delighted to be joined by one of the competitors, Joe Burney, who's hugely involved in the promotion of shore angling and indeed angling for young people. And he's joined by, well, a very good friend of his. He tells me that he hopes it's going to be a future daughter-in-law, Linda Manton. Joe, first off, tell us about your own interest in angling.
2 of us are members of the Liston Varna for North Sea Angling Club. It's a club that's there over 50 years now. We currently have a promotion going on trying to encourage youth to come into the sport. We have this year engaged with over 20 young juveniles, and we're trying to bring them on into the club and get them interested in it. Currently Linda and Joseph, my son, are after making the under 21 Munster Interprovincial team, and they'll be fishing that in February this year.
And what's the key to getting young people interested in angling?
Just to get them out on the beach. Once they catch their first fish, generally that's it. That's the interest taken. They either love it then or they won't take to it.
Linda, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from and how you got interested.
Well, I'm from Ballyea. I got interested by his son, Joseph, my boyfriend. He just got me out on the beach and started me off fishing. And once I caught the first fish, I was just delighted with it. So I said I'd just join the club then and see how I go.
And have you come across many ladies out fishing, or is it mainly a male-dominated sport or pastime?
Well, now and again you see a few odd women, but mainly just men. But it's nice to ask friends of mine to come and join in that. But mainly men, yeah. So.
What do you enjoy about it yourself?
Just the fact of the thrill of just catching a fish. It's great, yeah. But I enjoy fishing because it's different to any other kind of sport that you'd be doing.
And it's so healthy, and imagine being up here in Enniscrone on a Saturday afternoon in the beautiful scenery. That's the magic for me.
Yeah, well, it's nice, and you deal with all the different things like cold and that, but it's great.
Good stuff. Joe, I suppose, is the glass half full when you come to angling in Ireland? What's your own, I suppose, thoughts on the future of angling, and what would you like to see happen to angling in Ireland in the future?
I'd like to see more encouragement and more thought given onto the children coming into the sport, and protecting our fisheries as well. Currently it's been under threat from overfishing for commercial reasons. And we have a great environment here, and we have great facilities in Ireland to encourage it for tourism if we protect it and if we promote it correctly. It's all down to the genuine people getting involved in it and getting the support to bring it forward.
Linda, Joe, thanks a million. Great to see you encouraging young people, and great to see ladies as well involved in this pastime.
And Pierce, thanks very much for coming here and giving us coverage and promoting the sport to us.
Thanks a million, Joe.
Appreciate it.
Best of luck. I'm sure we'll catch up with you again. Linda and Joe there, encouraging young people to get involved in this pastime and sport. And of course, on a wonderful evening like this, on a beautiful strand in Enniscrone, well, you can't ask for a better pastime. Well, down here on the shore in Enniscrone, I'm joined by Noel Fogarty, a former angling international for Ireland. Noel, tell us a little bit about what you're at. I can see you're preparing here.
We're preparing here a bit of bait trace now, second trace being made, right, for the fishing. We'll be casting now, starting now in about a couple of minutes. So it's a day to have one trace up and a second trace bait. So when you do reel in, it's easy to change traces over, get your fish measured and rebait again and start over. So you constantly have it all in the water at all times.
Tell us a little bit about the rules and regulations this afternoon.
This afternoon you're allowed, if you catch a fish, you must get your fish, you're allowed to cast straight back out, but you must get your fish signed by the angler beside you before you retrieve in your next cast. And it's all catch and release today. So if we catch a fish, we all release it and let it go back, keep the fish stocks up.
So it's a little bit like the guy beside you correcting your spellings at school.
That's it. Your fish has to be measured and signed for and added up at the end of the day.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Noel, because you are a former Irish international. Well, probably you could be still an Irish international at this stage if you do well today.
That's true. I've been lucky in the past to represent Ireland. If we're lucky enough to win today, we can represent Ireland in the home internationals. So with a bit of luck, you know, something might come good.
Where did you compete and what was that like?
In the past, I've competed in France, Portugal, and Brazil. It was an experience, to say the least. Different type of fishing, lighter lines, different types of fish, and it was enjoyable, very enjoyable.
Great.
You know?
Tell us about your bait this afternoon, because I can see it here in front of you.
These are lugworms, fresh type lugworms here. These ones here are called maddies. They're a type of harbour ragworms, and this is another type of lugworm. They're called blacks, which are usually frozen down. Okay. We also have some mackerel as well. They'll be the main baits for today, and hopefully they come good.
And what do you hope to catch this afternoon?
We hope to catch mainly a lot of flatfish, a lot of flounders. We might get a few collies then when it gets dark, if we're lucky.
You're a dub. What do you think of the west of Ireland?
It's lovely. I absolutely enjoy coming over to the west all the time. It's magic.
No, the best luck this afternoon. Thanks for your
Thank you very much indeed. Okay, cheers. Bye-bye.
Well, I'm Brian Mooney. I'm from Killala, over in Mayo there. I've been fishing most of my life, mainly the boats now, as the uncle had a character out of Killala. But let's say the last 4 or 5 years, I've been doing more shore angling, you know, because it's the accessibility really. We have great beaches. There's no reason that, you know, more people shouldn't get involved in it. And it's great. It's just a great sport altogether, you know. It's peaceful. You get to meet people. I'm only after getting into competitions now the last maybe a couple of months, you know. To have a league here every year, I think it's 8 or 9 different days. But I managed to get 2 or 3 in. Met a few lads, just kind of adapting to this kind of way of fishing now. It's good. It's pretty good. I get to meet people, and I'm in a club back home, so it's enjoyable. Yeah, I like meeting the new people.
I fished kind of all my life, but I mean the competition fishing is it gives me a great old buzz, like, you know. It's like an electric shock going down the line there when you get a bite when you're in the big competitions. But you start off in your club and you fish like Cork's Anglers, my club, so there'll be about 20 odd in the club. And if you win the league for the year, you get into another competition called the Irish Masters, where the winners of all the clubs in Ireland are, and that was fished a couple of weeks ago up in Portrush. But that's once a year, it's the Irish Masters. That's the kind of the main competition. And this then is the All-Ireland Open, but anyone can fish in this one. I was on the Irish team in Italy in 2005, and I was a sub in Brazil in 2007, and I came second in the All-Ireland thing there now up in Portrush 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I've won the club the last 7 or 8 years in a row now, so I've gotten to the Masters the last 7 or 8 years, but people are getting closer every year, so I don't know how long I'll keep it up.
And is it technique or luck, Alan, or what's the key to being?
It's a bit of both. The more, like if a good guy gets a good draw, he'll win, whereas if a guy isn't good and he gets a good draw, he mightn't win, you know. I mean, you get the odd bit of luck, like normally a peg on the end is better because you've got the whole side of the beach open to you on either side, but So you'd be hoping for an end peg, or else there'd be something like that. There's a river flowing out there now, so either side of that river should be good, you know. But I mean, it's the same guys kind of win every time. I mean, up in Portrush now, there was a fellow who won it, Brian Cook. I think I fished up there 8 very different competitions. I think he's won 7 of them and come second in the other one. You know, and that's, no matter where he's put, he seems to do very well, you know. But
bit like the Kilkenny hurlers.
It's a bit like the Kilkenny hurlers, yeah. The odd time cork nip in though. But the other thing with fishing is, I mean, you can fish till you're any age. There's a fella called Budge Booker. He's an English fella, and he won the European Championships on the east coast of Ireland when he was 74. He's 78 now, but he still competes every year in the European Championships. And he comes over fishing in Ireland. But I mean, there was all the guys from all over Europe fishing that, and he won it at 74, you know. So I mean, you can fish till the day you drop. You can't play rugby.
I'm from Dungiven. I'm originally from the Isle of Man before. This is the first big competition I've done over here, so this is a flounder, so I can't even breathe. I caught him on lugworm and mackerel, and it was just passed out just as far as I could, just past them big breakers over there. So I have to go to the fella next to me, and then he measures it for me and then writes it down on a card, and then at the end of the competition then they add up all the points and all the centimetres and that add up into points, and then whoever's got the most at the end of the competition wins. So yeah, nearly 3-hour drive or something we did this morning to get here, so it's worth it now. I've caught a fish, so I'm quite happy now. I was going to give up at one point. Once I've taken the hook out of him, I just go to put it in a bucket of water, go to the fella next to me, he'll measure it, and then I'll go and put it back into the sea.
Well, for people who haven't seen it, I'd say they probably think we're all crazy, for starters. But we're delighted with the turnout. The turnout has been fantastic. We were expecting in around 100 to in around the 90s. We had 120 down. I think we've 117 plus fishing, which is fantastic for a day in November. And that's it. It's great. And can't complain. Fish aren't just coming at the moment, but they will.
What do you enjoy about it yourself?
It's getting out, meet the lads. They're from all over the country. There's not that many doing it this part of the country, which is great. Like, to get these guys from the east coast, south coast that do a lot more shore angling than we do, to get them down here and say that we have good fishing, we have great beaches for this sort of thing. And the more time they come, the better. Like, you know, like, we want to put the place on the map.
Well, as the sun sets here on the beautiful strand in Enniscrone, I think it's probably the best time for us to say goodbye for this week. I hope you enjoyed the programme. Big thank you to everybody involved in the All-Ireland Shore Angling Finals this weekend. A great weekend was had by everybody. And a thank you also, special thank you to Declan Gallagher, a big fan of Irish TV, for inviting us along. Until next week, from everybody involved in the programme, Slán agus Beannacht.